nice. Plus, it also works on the eyes. So
perfect.
yeah,
I need that.
it's a two.
So I'm pretty excited because I'm pretty sure that I'm live. I'm pretty sure that we together are live on my business page for the first time ever. This is conversation number 31 with Wild Child. So, hello. I've got Lisa McCullough and Liz Martins with me today. And I did this beautiful meditation last week. And I was releasing something during my meditation, and I didn't quite know what I was releasing. However, the next day, I started this oil group with Lisa, who's a doTERRA rep, and she was talking about using these oils and using them intentionally. And so I do breath work every morning, and I used the oils and I placed them in the right places, and I'm breathing in the oils, and I had some frankincense under my tongue. And after that breath work, after that meditation, and I had done a meditation the night before about releasing something that wasn't serving me, and I realized that I was hiding behind my group on Facebook. I was hiding behind my group, Stay Wild Child, which has been an incredible blessing. It's been 2 years of a women's group that I run. I like to call it a girl gang. And I decided that I was going to go live on my business page. So this is our inaugural Stay Wild Child, Conversations with Stay Wild Child. And I brought these beautiful LightWorkers to join me on this conversation today. We have been talking during, for the last several months. And we've been chatting, we've been sharing ideas, we've been uplifting each other, we've been giving each other grace. And this has just, it's been really a beautiful blessing to be friends with these two amazing light workers. And so I'm going to let them quickly just kind of like introduce themselves. And then we're going to get right into the conversation about like, what is a light worker? What do we got going on during this 2020 timeframe? And so much more to get to. So Lisa, I'll let you start since you're on the top of my screen. And just quickly introduce yourself.
Yes. Okay. Well, I am Lisa McCullough. I love everything magical, everything quantum, everything that's, woo woo, but in a way that is realistic. Right. And I am a essential oils coach. I am, let's say, a quantum magical, coach, helping people learn and understand the power of their thoughts, the power of their intentions, and working with that intentionally. So, and I'm a mom. I live on a farm. I have all kinds of animals. And I love having quantum adventures. So that's who I am. And I am honored to be here talking with you two ladies.
Yes. All right, Liz Martins, share with us a little bit about who you are. Give it to us.
So isn't that a loaded question? Who am
I?
Everything and nothing all at the same time. So my name is Liz Martins, and I am a quantum coach. I have multiple modalities that I practice within. That is Reiki and shamanism. And so I also am a doTERRA goddess. So the oils are very, very powerful in my life. Through meditation and this inward journey, I've really healed a lot of parts of myself. And so I'm just here to keep reminding everybody that there's nothing outside of us. Everything that we're looking for is right here. So yeah. Lots of different modalities, and it's always a journey. It's always changing.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a beautiful message, right? I mean, we're always expanding. So we're always adding on just a little bit more and a little bit more. And, the group Stay Wild Child, it is primarily, it's focused on helping women remember who they are before the world told them who they were supposed to be. And so on my business page, of course, guys and gals can like my business page. And I decided, you know what? This isn't just a message for women. And that's why I decided to go live on my business page. This is a message for everyone, helping you remember who you are before the world told you who you were supposed to be. And, I normally start off my conversations when they're one-on-one with kind of, you know, taking us back to where you were kind of before you started this becoming, right? Dropping those old belief systems, dropping that programming, and stepping into your authentic self. And we do that on like a little personal scale. But today I really wanted to come, so I use the hashtag all the time on Instagram. I use it on my personal Facebook page, but I use the hashtag LightWorker and or light bringer, those types of words. And so I've had a handful of people. Do y'all remember on when we went to the Quantum Revolution tour, I even had sweatshirts made that said hashtag LightWorker. Yeah. I obviously dig the hashtags. So you know, I had these sweatshirts made, and I've had a lot of people stop and ask me, what does it mean to be a light worker? Mm-hmm. Would either of you like to take that one?
Well, I suppose we both could. Because we are all light workers.
Yes, we are.
Really, for me, anyhow, I really feel like being a light worker is bringing light to the truth of our reality in a gentle, kind way, but then for me personally, but then also in your face, okay? And helping you wake up to things that you have been hypnotized to, that you've been, that you're not enlightened to, I guess. And helping people and myself live in a space where I'm bringing things with love and not negative, that kind of thing. We are all on a journey together to, if the light worker community, we are all on a journey together to bring light to what is really going on this planet. I mean, I guess right now anyway, you know, because there's so much happening. And so the light worker community, we're kind of part truther, right? Part, I would say, conspiracy factors, and bringing light to the situations, but bringing light to the planet as well during this. Like you said before, holding space for those who are just waking up and not understanding things, holding that space for them to learn in a place of love, you know, instead of, a lot of stuff is really negative, but we want everything to be positive, right? Because when it's all about your vibration. So holding the vibration higher, helping people learn about how their vibration works with the body and how it helps elevate the planet as a whole. So I guess that's kind of where I come from.
I think that's a great answer. Yeah.
I used to be a hardcore truther only.
Yeah.
Right. And I've grown so much, right, to understand how to properly bring things to people, you know, and that kind of thing. So, yeah.
Liz, you have anything to add?
Yeah, I mean, I think you could ask light workers in our community what it means to be a life worker, and you're going to get a little bit of a different answer each time. So
sure.
I love how Lisa, I mean, the truth, right? Like, and that's going to be so different for everybody, because what are people living? What is their truth? And for me, a light worker just means that whatever that truth is, whatever part someone's at that journey, as a light worker, you can really come in and very neutral and just help them see the light. Like if they're, you know, healing trauma, or if they're having, if they're wanting to start looking at their shadows, to really hold that space and hold that light and just help guide them. Are they going deep enough, or are they just playing outside the surface? And again, not judging, holding that space of compassion. We're all humans, and I really, really, truly in my heart feel like we are all trying to do the best that we possibly can. So whether there are folks out there that might be doing something that is not your truth, can we still stay in a place of compassion and and just grace for one another. I feel like that is really my true essence of a light worker is, you know, holding grace and compassion for people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I use the analogy of a seed planter, and it's, for me, it's helping. Well, so because I've been in the awakening process, you know, I feel like I held a lot of beliefs, and I felt like I had a lot of deep programs. And when I started to become aware of some things that were really, you know, transpiring and taking place, and light started to open up for myself, I then discovered that I have this gift of being a seed planter. And you know, just, you know, what my experience probably was over the last 6 months is just kind of like just watering those seeds and showing, you know, posting the truth and watering those seeds and watching kind of the lights come on in people's eyes. And I've had so many private messages from the information that I've been sharing over this, let's say 2020. I've been sharing it for longer than that, but, you know, let's just say 2020. I've had so many messages of individuals not realizing, and I like the word that you use, Lisa, hypnotized, like, right, kind of hypnotized by this information that's just kind of pouring in, and then they kind of people start to open their eyes, and that's such a gift. But you're right, Liz, it's having that compassion and that grace for ourselves and then for others, right? And realizing, like, okay, if we've gotten triggered, okay, what's going on in here? You know, and I think that we've all come to a place where we're super aware of who we are, and we realize that if a trigger hits us, we don't judge it anymore. It's just like, oh shit, okay, that's something I gotta look at.
Right.
And I think a really important thing to remember as well, like when we first introduced everything, is like, who are we becoming? At the same time is, who are we unbecoming?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So like,
yes,
we have to unbecome, for me especially, like the last 10 years have just, like, people see me now and they're like, who are you? There's
right.
been so much unbecoming, whether that's my belief, whether that's what I'm eating, what I'm drinking, what I'm doing, how I'm acting, how I'm treating people. So much unbecoming in order for me to really become that true essence of who I want to be, of who I really, really want to completely embody. So that's where, for me, the whole grace, and just like, I see somebody who's like, this is right or this is wrong, but I'm like, oh wait, they're trying to, it's like they're trying to break out of that cocoon. It's so fun. I mean, it's exciting time.
It seriously is.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think go ahead, Lisa, sorry.
Oh, well, something that I was gonna say is also with this Lightworker community, there's so many different, like, let's say, not factions, but ways of presenting as a light worker in this situation that we are dealing with on the planet right now. So you have so many different ways of holding light on this planet. So we've got, like, my son is an incredible light worker. He is here holding the light, holding the positive, holding the space for others to wake up, but holding the vibration high on this planet. He is, you know, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but, and then me, I am like, I'm bringing the truth. I'm going to share the what's going on really underneath. And then he's holding the light here in constant positivity, constant, like, looking towards what is beautiful, and just holding a higher vibration. You know, it's we all complement each other in such an amazing way. that it's really fascinating. I've really come to realize, because sometimes I can get a little bit stuck into oh my gosh, you got to wake up. You need to see the light. You need to see what's really going on. Come on, you're ignoring it. You can't ignore it. And then I have to pull back and go, okay, that is not the way they are. That's not their light worker way. That, and finding that compassion for their journey and their way of holding the light and lifting the vibration of the planet, and then giving myself grace for feeling kind of like, oh my gosh, you need to see this, you need to watch this, you know what I mean? Grace for myself, so that and helping myself be compassionate for myself. For I know we talked about this once, Nicole, about, oh my gosh, what am I needing to release, because I'm feeling annoyance sometimes, and then I'm feeling like irritation sometimes, and so I need to pull back and see what is it that I need to work on within myself still, that's still needing some healing. Anyway, it's just a beautiful journey, and there's so many ways that the people out there, us light workers, are lifting the vibration of this planet, and it's amazing to watch. It really is.
It's our humanness, and we're all here having this human experience, and we're all going through things at a different time, and so it's like grace is so important, because I have there's and I guess primarily you see it really playing out on a social media platform, and I think, Lisa, you and I tend to be a little more direct than possibly Liz is, just as far as like, we're kind of laying it out there sometimes. And so you're right, because we can get like a little bit of kickback, and so, so then our humanness gets in the way, and it's like, and then I'm like, oh shit, no shit. I know. I really am about love and light. I truly am. And so I guess, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about the energies and the frequencies. So Zoe was on my show. Zoe Mack was on my show maybe like 3 weeks ago. And she made a statement on my show, which prompted this right here. She made a statement that she said that she's heard from several sources that 2 billion people will be waking up this year. 2 billion. And I was like, and I got chills right now, and I got chills.
Me too.
Yep.
Okay. So I have felt for a period of time, there is darkness in this world, and I'll be honest, I honestly didn't realize that there was as much darkness prior. Of course I knew there was darkness, and I always like to say I kind of love my naivete. Is that the right word? Because I generally am like, oh, shit's badass. And so
ignorance is bliss, right?
Yeah, life is cool. And so I was kind of shocked at some of the darkness. But however, I know that, and for me, I'm a God girl, and I feel like God speaks the language of love, and others are universe and source energy and whatever your vibe is, and or yourself. And so I know that love is the vibration, and so when these energies of fear and anger and hate and all of this come in, so let's talk a little bit about vibrations. Who wants to take that?
Well, so are we talking just specifically on how we're seeing our reality and frequency and vibration, or specific to fear, anxiety?
So I think it's reality, how we're seeing that right now.
Yeah. It's really, for me, so things are just becoming what is the word I want to use? So much more vibrant. So much more, I mean, even from just the clouds look different.
I agree.
Yeah, they're just like the sunsets and the clouds and the trees, just the color, the like luster and depth of the color of a flower. So, and people can joke around and be like, well, yeah, you're all like love and light and hippie lids, but no, it's like really there's been a really big shift vibrationally with those colors, the way that they're vibrating, the way that I'm seeing them. Now I try to remember that the person on the side of me might not be seeing that vibrance. They might not even be seeing the flower. They're just walking by. So like in reality, that's where things, I think that the biggest word for me has just been like gentle. With everything that's going on in the world right now, the frequency of fear that came through my body was paralyzing. The fear, the anxiety. I had to sit there and ask myself, through meditation and stillness, like, am I this afraid? Am I this scared? Like, what? My childhood wasn't traumatic. I live a pretty blessed life. So is this really, and I mean, I really had to make peace with the things that I was learning and experience. And I found that I was only able to release that frequency by letting it completely go through me. And so even today, right? Because I think about you, we think about, oh, I don't want to feel like this anymore. Switch it off or move on. But actually sitting with it and feeling that frequency, as uncomfortable as it is, whether it's crying or working out or grounding, I feel like that was the key for me. That really was the key to really feel it. Let it saturate every cell of my body. And I'm not feeling that now. I'm not. But I think that, through the years that I've been alive, every time fears come up, we bury it really far down or we don't look at it. But really allowing that space. And again, it's just a frequency. It's just a vibration. And so it's uncomfortable. It doesn't feel good. Nobody wants it. We want to be like hanging out with our girls and, listening to music that feels so much better. But for me, definitely it was definitely allowing. And I think that's given me kind of a purge of those emotions. I still have them, but what I was going through and the intensity I was going through, I feel like I've kind of reclaimed power over that area. And I think that's what humanity is about to experience, reclaiming their power over those vibrations so that they can't really hurt us the way that they have been for so long.
Yeah. I've been learning too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's that feeling, I remember, just on a personal level, I've gone through a divorce, and I remember like kind of getting through it so quickly. And it's because I just stuffed it all. Like, I don't want to deal with it. I'll Scarlett O'Hara, I'll think about that tomorrow,
Yeah.
And for a long time, I think that, I've lost a child, divorce, job loss, lots of things that hit people hard. And we kind of like, pull up your bootstraps, and let's move forward. And for a long time I was that way. And I probably still kind of have that personality a little bit, like, come on, let's just go, people. But I know that it's the looking at it, it's the feeling it, it's the getting pissed, it's the, even if I don't know, this is just kind of an action step I'm thinking here, because some people are gonna be like, okay, so how do I move past this, right? So this is just me, it just kind of came into my head, but it's even like just writing it all down. I shared this with someone the other day. I said, why don't you write down every possible bad thing that could, happen here? And then, look at it, feel it. And then what are all the things that you're just kind of thinking in your head? It's the possibility of all of that. Like, how possible is that really going to happen? And so, it's just maybe, like an action step or something for somebody who's like, okay, so I'm so stuck in fear, or I'm so stuck in anger.
And I love that technique too. And I'm just like getting this visual of you saying it. So for people who are not really using the words frequency or vibration or, you know, in that kind of language. So
Right.
it can help by like, okay, so if there's this frequency vibration of fear coming through, energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It just is. So that presence right there, you actually taking that action of writing, okay, there's another frequency that you've now created so you can transfer it. So I've got goosebumps all over the place. I love that, right? Because you're getting it out of the system. Some people don't like doing that. Some
Yeah.
people rather get on there and do a podcast or call up a girlfriend, Nicole, help me out here. I got to get this out of my system. And in that moment, you can call me out on my shit, or you know, I can actually just hear my own voice. I'm releasing the charge internally and I'm getting it out. I love that. I love that. So hopefully that will help some people
Yeah.
understand what we mean by like the frequency and holding that charge or releasing that charge.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. We all, we all hear, I remember, for years, it can almost sound like Charlie Brown's teacher, some of the words that we're using, like that wah, wah, like what the hell are they saying?
Yeah.
So yes, it's the breaking it down, the simplicity, because we've been in this community for a period of time now. And so the words and the way that we use, language, and, it can be a bit confusing at times. And really, this is a goal, or, well, I don't know if a goal is the best word, but it's just it's a sharing, it's a gift of us sharing so that we help in that awakening process. So go ahead, Lisa.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let me think. Okay, so yeah, it was I like with what Liz was saying, writing it and what you were talking about doing, writing it out is a specific energy, right? It is taking those feelings, the emotions, and like releasing them from the body, because our being, we are electric beings, we are vibration. And so if you have that stuck in you and you're dwelling in it, it's going to just continue to bring in, you're in that energy of fear. You're going to continue to attract fearful situations to keep you in that vibration, because you're telling the universe, I feel fear, I want to keep feeling fear, because I mean, you don't know that you're doing that, but that is what you're doing. You're calling in more fearful situations. So if you can literally take that and channel it through into writing and put that release that vibration onto the paper through writing, which is so powerful, and then burn it, right? Then burn it. Okay, and feel it releasing, and see it releasing, and that's what I do too. It's really, really, really powerful for me to do that. So there's something somebody could, try that. If you're dealing with that, that would be a really, really great little, let's say, ritual or practice to do, to write it down, like Nicole's saying, and then burn it after and release it, and feel that releasement, feel it releasing from your emotions.
It's all the intention, right? It's
Absolutely.
the intention that you're setting behind the ritual or the practice or the habit that you're creating. It's all just the intention. And I used that as my word. I think it was 2019. And I've heard this for years. Set an intention, set an intention, set an intention. And it took a long time to get up in this head, that word intention. It just took a lot of practice.
Yeah.
And finally,
powerful. Our intention. If I could, like, if everybody could realize how extremely powerful their thoughts and intentions are. I mean, that's kind of what we're doing in this, the challenge that we're doing right now.
Yes.
It is really honing in on understanding how powerful our thoughts and our intentions are, that to create our reality around us. Like every single thought and intention that comes through the mind and projected out to the ether is attracting the equal to it into our reality. Literally, people, places, things, situations, circumstances are modeling those thoughts and intentions so that you experience what you're putting out there. So, you know, it's much better to be able to release those and then bring in some intentions that are what you want to experience versus what you don't want to experience. So, yeah.
So as you brought up, so this is why I like to do this, because you say a word and now I'm going to expand on that. Okay, so let's talk about creating our reality. So when Liz, I'm going to go to you on this one. So Liz, when we talk about, Lisa and I both said that we are maybe a little bit more truthers, right? Like that's kind of our vibe-ish. Love and light and truth. So,
and then I'm a little bit more truth and then love and light. It's so fun. Anyway,
it's just like, I just want people to feel good.
Right.
That's where my passion comes from. It's like, oh, come on, just feel good. Just live, people. That's, you know, I just get like, come on, let's live. Okay, so we are creating our realities. So, and I know that I've heard, so we have these different Lightworker communities, and I've heard, you know, some are going one direction and some are going another direction because we do create our reality. I have this feeling about what I'm personally doing because that's what feels right to me. But in this role that we are creators of our reality, you know, like I'll just use a little example. Today I was looking for this bralette that I'm wearing and I couldn't find it, but I always find everything I lose, always. Like I'll misplace something, but I always find it. There's never a doubt that I'm not going to find what I lost. And I'm always like, thank you, I found it. Because, you know, it's like, sure, I'm kind of be a little messy and I'll pile up some clothes or leave some laundry in the laundry room or leave it on the side of my tub or have this bralette hanging on another shirt in my closet, whatever, right? I do all kinds of things like that. But I always find it. And so, you know, I'm like, where is that bralette? Because it matches my shirt. And I'm like, where is that little bralette at? And I'm like, I'm going to find it. Not worried about it. I'm going to find it. And literally I found it within, you know, a couple minutes of looking for it because I knew I was going to find it because I don't lose shit because I'm the creator of my reality. Right.
Yes.
So that's just a little thing that I do. And I celebrate that every, you know, I found it and I'm like, yes, I found it. Thank you. You know, because I want to bring good energy to me always finding shit I lose. So as we are the creators of our own reality, and as we are sharing light, and I feel like helping in the awakening, seed planting, truthing, whatever we want to call it. Talk a little bit about that, Liz. Did I ask a question?
Well, yes and no, but I'll create my reality right here and just go with it. So creating our own reality, I mean, just that example right there. I mean, this loops back to what Lisa was saying about our thoughts. You saying there was no doubt in my mind I was going to find it because I don't lose shit. That is a truth. That is you creating a reality. You are literally not going to lose shit. And so I think that is where, apart for me of people, 2 billion people waking up, 2 people are going to start waking up to the fact that we are creating our own reality. If you don't like what you see in your reality, it is your job. It's yours. You got to own it. Like you got to take a look at what you're creating, at what you're looking at. And I'm not saying so much from, there's a lot of shit going on bigger than us. And yeah, I don't share a whole lot, but I will tell you with the information that I learn, that I hear, I'm more of, I don't know, I'm like the silent Buddha. I'm like, okay, let me take all that. Okay, now without judgment, how can I get neutral with what now I've just learned? How can I get to a neutral space? Once I get to a neutral space, I know that I am the creator of my reality. What do I want to do with this information? What timeline do I want my reality, my children following along with?
Yeah.
My husband, for example, like, he's the most beautiful, caring, supporting person I know. And I've started saying my thoughts is his awakening will be graceful. It doesn't have to be a dark night of the soul. It doesn't have to be that.
No,
That's
it doesn't.
that's a belief. Maybe that's what I experience. That doesn't have to be what all of humanity experiences. What if they have a graceful awakening? And one could say, well, Liz, you just live in a fantasy world. Well, that's okay, because that brings me peace within my heart. So how am I creating my own reality? I'll tell you, if I read something and I'm triggered, I now, because I've done this for so long, I don't attack the person. I don't blast them back and say, what are you doing? I sit there and I'm like, okay, what is this? Where is this? Where within my body am I feeling this right now? Am I feeling in my root and my solar plexus? Where am I feeling it? Is it in my heart? And I sit with that. You know what I mean? And sometimes I do have to have the conversation with the individual, well, depending on what it is, but I make it very clear. I make it very, very clear. Hey, I'm going through some shit. I'm asking for your help to, like, just talk with me through this so that I can clear it. You know what I mean? I have that conversations with my husband all the time. I'm like, I'm going through something. Like, you need to know this isn't you. Just because someone triggered me, it's not you. You're just delivering the mail. But what can I do with it? And so, and I will say that doing that, as it's like habitual now, I have a lot more peace. I've caught myself saying, oh, everybody's sleeping and all of these things are going on in the world. I've caught myself and I was like, Liz, what are you saying? No, everybody is waking up.
Yeah.
Everybody, I see new people all the time reaching out to me and messaging me. I was like, it's happening. We're moving more towards the whole love and light versus this. And so that's where I take the ownership, and without beating myself up for negative things that I see, but that is the way that I believe that I can create my reality, and it can ripple effect and help other people create their realities by recognizing, oh, what am I saying? Where do I need to switch that? And it's a frequency. As soon as it comes out of my mouth, I'm like, oh, hold on, reset, rewind, erase, new one. And I've done that several times. I was with I'm like, oh, pause, rewind, erase. What do you want to say now?
Yeah.
And it really takes meditation, being aware in the moment, like taking the breaths, knowing what you're saying, not rushing. I really believe that's been the biggest blessing to this madness that's happening right now with this thing that's going on since March, is that everyone has slowed down. Like, just slow down. We have more time to call a friend. We're not rushing to the next thing and the next thing. It really, really has been a huge blessing. So that's where I tried to say, where is the goodness in this? That's how people are going to wake up, because they've now had the opportunity to slow down.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what that's the frequency that I try to hold without sharing. I just start saying, people are waking up. And I'm telling you, my feeds every day, there's just more people who are either reaching out like, Liz, what is this? Right? Mm-hmm. You've had it too. So, and
my feed shifted. My feed shifted from fear-based to more people are waking up. Right.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
My social media feed, meaning.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Because I changed the way I was looking at it, because I'm holding the space of the reality that I want to create, because I know it's going to be. I mean, there's just no doubt that it's going to be. So let's talk about, you talked about a minute ago, Lisa, on the frequencies and the vibrations. So when we hear, and so I had this, it shifted for myself. So I know that I know it's possible because I had a ton of fear and shame and all that kind of thing in my personal newsfeed, just on, and I'm just using social media as an example. I've ran businesses from social media. So, and y'all are my friends and y'all live far away. And so I need to create this reality that we all live within 30 minutes of each other.
Right.
Yes, we happen to be literally like, I'm in the middle, you're on
A big
one end,
triangle.
you're on the other.
Totally.
Yes.
It
Oh,
is.
yes.
It's
Yes.
the triangle. It really is.
Triangle.
Holy cow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
that might be another topic.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's talk about, if your social media feed, or if your friend group, or if your family, if it is, I found that fear, anger, those vibrations, those emotions, they tend to be loud. And I wonder, is it addictive? Is that, or is it, so when we're talking about creating realities and those vibrations, they at times, especially, I know, especially prior to me kind of shifting my timeline a little bit, I felt like they were, they're very loud.
Yeah.
And so
Great.
is it an addictive vibration? I'll let you take that one, Lisa.
I will absolutely. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
It is extremely addictive. I will say that. I mean, I have a very addictive personality. Like, I have to really watch myself with everything, substance, coffee, anything. I just really do. And I also, it's really addictive. And I know this for a fact because I have gone through the experience of being absolutely engulfed every day of my life in this truther, I guess, community that is not, that weren't, this was before, that weren't light workers, okay? They were thinking they were light workers, and I'm not judging anybody because everybody has their place and they are holding the light in their specific way. But and this was like in 2008. I've been addicted to this for over 10 years and learning as much as I possibly can, absolute engulfed in learning the truth, uncovering the truth to the nth degree, and getting completely involved with that truther community. And finally, I was like, I think it was in 2014, I finally was like, this is getting me freaking nowhere. This is getting me nowhere. I am still in the same place as I was back in 2008 when we had our spiritual awakening, and I awoken to the truth plus had spiritual awakening, and I'm freaking addicted to this. This is what's going on. I am just, my mind, I attract it. So when you're addicted to it, you continually attract more and more and more of that specific vibration of what you're looking at into your life. And so then that's all you're seeing. That's all you're seeing. You're just seeing all of that. Anyway, this is just me personally,
Sure.
So I finally just said,
I think it's a lot of people.
Yeah. I mean, I got so far into this that it's beyond unbelievable. And down to even taking my freaking birth certificate off the stock market and everything else, and going through all the huge filing UCC1s and stuff like that, because I was in such a place of addiction to this reality that's going on that I was trying to help people get out of, but I would just but I noticed that I was addicted to it, and it was getting me nowhere because I was continually just staying in that space of, oh my gosh, this was going to happen. I'm 2012, the world's going to end, Mayan calendar, all of that, got very, very involved with that. And nothing happened, right? Now I know what did take place. We shifted timelines, and now this it's happening now, but it's so different. It's such a different experience because in like 2014, I said, I'm done. I'm over it. I'm not going to. I had to cut myself off, and I completely cut myself off of all of the fear porn of what's going on. Anyhow, so I guess you could say, yes, it's extremely addictive. And I would warn against looking only at that part of.
So how do we share then? How do we share in a way of we know what we want the outcome to be, right? Yeah. And I think that probably we're all generally on the same page.
Yeah, exactly.
And how do we share? I saw someone's social media post. She had posted about, and I'm not going to say the name of the videos simply because YouTube has been a little crazy lately with censorship and Facebook. So, so the videos that kind of start opening your eyes to what's been happening in this world and what the light that we're bringing into the darkness, right? Mm-hmm. And so how do we share in a way? Okay, sorry. So I saw on my timeline on Facebook today, I saw someone, she had just been exposed to these videos and she was watching them and she wanted to get people's input. And so I said, my message to her was, I've seen them all and I've dug really, really deep and I brought myself a couple times to a place of fear and maybe a little sadness. And, but I've also had a lot of time to work on myself personally. And so for those who are just kind of becoming aware of this, you know, and I know what kind of vibration I hold, yet, so I told her, I said, look, the one message I want to share with you is give yourself grace during this process. Don't let it consume you. Take breaks. Allow yourself to feel it and then step away for a couple of days before you go back and look at it again. Because, you know, I don't really know her personal, I know her through my direct sales business. And so I don't know how her family, you know, how everything in her life is, right? I don't know her whole situation. And so I wanted to just allow her to give herself grace. So how do we share from a place of, we're sharing the truth and we know what we want the outcome and we believe it, and yet we don't want to scare the bejesus out of anyone either.
Right.
Is that a good word, bejesus?
Yeah. Because like here's what I do. Because I instead of studying all of I still do, what's going down and what's been going down and the underlying going down. I know. I look at, okay.
Wait. I feel like you need to say going down like 100 more times.
I'm sorry.
there's that many
going down on this planet, you guys. Oh my God. You will be shocked. You will be shocked. But knowing that we are unbelievably, we are spiritual beings having a physical experience here, and we have chosen to be here at this time, during this time of awakening, for us to awaken those who are just now learning, you know, and being awakened to this truth. And we are bringing that awakening, but we are so powerful. And then when I started getting more into how powerful we are, that's when I'm like, okay, you know, let's look at this. Let's look at this ugliness or this shocking stuff that's happening, and then realize that we're here to actually change the timeline that we're on. And because our thoughts, intentions, feelings, emotions, and are so powerful, and they do create the timeline, as a collective, we create the timeline we're shifting onto, right? So as they bring us fear, we're like, okay, we get kind of, the cabal is trying to kind of pull us over onto their timeline. And then the light workers come in. No, we're going to raise the Schumann resonance. We're going to raise the Schumann resonance. We're doing a meditation, all together, as many people on the planet, so that we can pull ourselves back over to our destined timeline that we switched on to in 2012. So it's like, for me personally, I like to punch you in the face with the, ooh, are you kidding me? This has been happening. But this is where we're going to be going. If you wake up, smell the coffee, and then switch your vibration to, but we're going here. So let's look at this. Oh my gosh, they're crashing the Fed. Okay, well, what's the solution for everybody so that we come out smelling like a rose, get gold and silver?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just an example for like how I like to share in here's the truth, but let's go onto a higher plane of vibration and switch ourselves from the, oh my gosh, to, oh my gosh, this is so exciting because holy crap, we can create our own reality and look at where we can go and this can happen and look at all the things that are coming up for us if we continue to focus on, see that, but let it sit there while we create our reality into like the quantum financial system and whatnot. So I don't know if that made sense.
Totally. Liz, what you got, girl?
I don't know. I mean, I agree with what Lisa's saying. I definitely agree with it, but I also just feel like it's so hard. I don't think I even have an answer because it's so hard. Sorry, hold on. Can you pause that? I don't know. Sorry, my little guy's over here on the iPad. It's so hard because, okay, all of this stuff is here. It's like there's a big pile of shit on the floor. And people can't walk by it. I mean, they're going to smell it. They're going to step in it. It's going to get messy. But now, like, it's almost like if we could just clean it up, then no one's going to see it. You know what I mean? So we have to be careful that they're not sitting in it for too long. I say that from my experience. It's like I did go down there. I spent time researching, learning. And it was like, I didn't really, what did I get out of it? What did I get out of that experience? Besides giving my time, I woke up. My only concern, and I might not even be making a lot of sense here because I don't know what the answer to this is, but my concern is the emotional stability of individuals. You have to have a really strong foundation to expose your mind to those realities in order to, like Lisa said, come back to the other side, to jump back. And I'm saying that I do have a strong mental foundation. I'm very grounded. I meditate a lot on my mind. So I was able to be like, come back here. My concern is for some people, I'm not saying we all have the capacity to do that. And there's people who are light years ahead of me switching it really quickly. But for those that I may think I'm helping them wake up, but what if I cause more harm? Right? Will they find me when time's ready? I mean, the person who started sharing certain things with me just came out of nowhere. I really wasn't looking for this information. Like, it was handed over. The universe was like, you're ready to know this. You're ready to heal your fear. You're ready to heal your trauma, your anxiety. So this is how I'm going to serve it to you. And I feel like as a collective, we're all ready to heal those things. So yeah, I probably don't have the best answer, but I think as those who know, we do have a responsibility. And this probably comes from my shamanism training. When someone comes to you for a healing, you better be able to trust your guides and trust your intuition and know exactly, because you could push that person over the edge and break their shell. And now they're having a healing crisis.
Yeah.
Or you can really know, like, okay, I can only give this person this much, and then I'll stop. And then we can continue.
Yeah.
So Liz, you and I kind of started digging in at the same time. And it was interesting that we both gravitated to each other during that time, right?
Yeah, and I don't even remember how it happened, but we were like there together.
Yeah, same time. Yep. And it's so we had to uncover it slowly, right? I'm like, wait, could that really be happening? What? Like, we asked those questions back and forth to one another. I mean, really, like, what? And you had said something about sometimes God has to break your heart to let the light in. And that really spoke to me, because there was a few individuals that I was really shocked by. Well, a lot of individuals that I was really shocked by. And so you had made that statement, sometimes God has to, break your heart to let the light in. And I thought, wow, it makes a lot of sense. I have found that I share little tidbits, and I feel like everyone has their own journey of uncovering. And I think that it really kind of needs to be a digging in for themselves and their own learning. And so I share little tidbits of like little breadcrumbs to have them kind of start thinking out of the box. I personally do feel, I don't like the word responsibility, but that's the word I'm gonna use because the meaning I put behind the word responsibility. But I just feel this real pull, this real, I feel like I have to say something.
Yes.
That's me. I'm a loudmouth though. I always have been. I've always had a voice.
Yes, and I think that is the right word. And I really think that light workers, we are being called. We are being called to step up, because we have to allow these people to see the light. And we really, they need to see the light, and they, like you're saying, they need to dig in themselves. They need to uncover it themselves, because just telling you something, this is what's going on, and this is what's happened, and this is what that's not the way to do it, because they are just
like parenting your child. Go clean your room.
Right, exactly. Because I'm your mom and I said so. No. And they're not going to believe it, first of all. And it's you're stealing it from them. You're stealing their awakening from them. And so I think I try and do what you're saying too, Nicole, is sharing like little tidbits of stuff like, oh my gosh, and asking questions, asking them the question, hey, what if blah, 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 blah. What about that? And I really think with the word responsibility, I feel that strongly when you say that word, because I feel I was put here. I chose to come here right now. And why do I know this? Why have I been digging into this stuff for 10 years, right? And I feel like it's my responsibility as a light worker to get the truth out and help people, but then also help people learn how to create their own reality, so that we all get on that timeline that we are supposed to be on, and not get pulled back over to the other one. So responsibility is absolutely the word.
Okay.
I
think it's just that, the meaning I assign it, which everybody has a different meaning for that word.
Sure. Yeah. So thank you for bringing that up, because that's very,
And we're all on different paths, and we all have different modalities, and we're all here for different reasons. And it really is like, I know that a lot of people have struggled with this year. I think it's been pretty incredible. I had some plans that have been canceled, which is a bummer. Like, it sucks that my music concerts have been canceled. That's a freaking bummer. But I've had all this, I've had these aha moments.
Yeah.
I've had time. I've healed my time wounds. I've realized that I have a voice and it's important that I use it. I've started trusting myself more. I've allowed myself to step into who I am. And I probably did some of that before, but this year it just seems like it is amped up, right?
Mm-hmm. It's absolutely amped up.
I see it with you too as well. You know, we have a personal relationship, and it's a beautiful time. My word for 2020 was celebrate. And I'll be honest, at the very first of it, when all this happened, I was like, oh shoot, did I choose the wrong word? But no, I have celebrated every aha, every magical moment, everything. And in that celebration, it just keeps expanding and I have more things to celebrate. And so I'll see friends in fear, and that's the hardest part for me is that. Yeah, go ahead, Liz. What you got?
Yeah, Nicole, I'm just the whole celebrate. But did you hear how you said I'm celebrating and things are just getting better and better and better? I think that's where I was feeling, is because when we are going through all this, so many people are alone in their house, their depression is kicking in, things are happening because they're alone. I feel like it is also our responsibility, right? We're aware of the darkness, we get it, but we have to help these people celebrate by keeping in, was at the hairdresser and there was freaking kitties and puppies on the screen as I was getting my hair washed. And I was like, oh, this is the best thing in the world. Seriously, just reminding people, get on YouTube, right? Okay. A little bit of truth, a little bit of kitties and puppies and goats and babies laughing, right? Because that is going to give them more of the good stuff. Once they tap into that frequency, they're going to get more and more and more. That is the way I believe vibration and frequency works. If I'm feeling here, I ask myself, I'm like, oh, Liz, get that in check. Where do we got to go? And then it starts moving again. And I'm able to maintain that frequency longer and longer and longer is what I've realized through all of this. I have felt a massive shift because I'm checking in. I'm checking in with myself. Where's my frequency? How am I maintaining? And I'm calling back my power. I'm calling back my power from a lot of that darkness that I learned. Part of myself, I'm like, oof, I got to call myself back from that. That was deep. It was heavy. And I keep calling myself back every day. In the morning, I wake up, I reclaim my power. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I love the word celebrate. I think it is 100% perfect.
It's a good word.
We can celebrate that this is finally going down. And
it's finally going down.
Up, right?
Right.
And for me too, celebrate that I have a tool. I have the most amazing tool to help people move through the sadness, the grief, the anxiety and whatnot that this is causing, into understanding the power of their thoughts, emotions, and intentions. And that for me, that my tool that I use, among other things, are the essential oils, right? And teaching people to use them to uplift themselves and to bring themselves from the darkness up to the light.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cool. We're all in this, I'm, supplements, your supplements and oils, your supplements and oils. It's like we have these game changers, and we've gone in, we've looked at the shit, we're transforming it, we're owning our power, we're celebrating our lives, and it is possible for every single person. And I think that's the main message we want to share with everybody. It's there. You just have to reach out and grab it, and maybe let go of some of that that control that you're trying to control and hold on to. And that is why I do this group. That's why I do Stay Wild Child, is because I just want to help people remember who they are, because we are these loving, beautiful human beings having this spiritual experience, and we all have this like superpower inside of us.
Yeah.
And when we see it, and we're all three women who are there to show you exactly how to explore that. And so each week, you know, I do these Stay Wild Child conversations with Stay Wild Child, and now it's going to be on my public page. And welcome to the show, guys. I'll have to have some of you on now. It's been all about women for a while, and I, you know, I know it's not just for women. I mean, this is, we're moving into that divine feminine energy. This is Aquarius. This is the time, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it literally is astrologically. I mean, it's like, oh, incredible! What's happening?
So
We
incredible.
are in the Great Awakening. We are literally ascending at this point. We are going to meet our galactic brothers and sisters.
Yeah, truly.
Oh, it's incredible.
It's all good. All good.
It's a party.
It's
Yeah.
a party.
Thank you, ladies, for joining me. And
Thank you.
thanks, everybody, for joining us. And this will be on YouTube, and so you can share it away. All right. Y'all have an awesome week. Happy 2020.
Happy
Yay. Love you, ladies.
Love you.
Love you.
Love you.